Hi, my name is Amelia Wheeler. I'll be discussing today knowledge management tools. Microsoft SharePoint is a knowledge management system for Info 4307 Knowledge Management with Dr. Teresa Merlot. What is knowledge management? Knowledge management is the quote, systematic management of an organization's knowledge assets for the purpose of creating value and meeting tactical and strategic requirements. It consists of the processes, strategies, and systems that sustain and enhance the creation, storage, and sharing of knowledge. End quote. Through management of an organization's knowledge, the organization can ensure that key knowledge holders are able to share their knowledge within the organization, promoting knowledge retention and preventing knowledge loss. The usage of knowledge management within an organization is vital to help, quote, provide customers with better products and services in response to their ever-increasing demands as to flexibility, speed, and quality, end quote. As knowledge management is refined as a field, knowledge management systems have begun to use Web 2.0 technologies because they offer a variety of tools that make it possible to communicate with others more effectively, encourage collaboration, and facilitate social interaction and the sharing of knowledge, end quote. The usage of these Web 2.0 tools for knowledge management aid in organizational agility. That is, an organization that, quote, identifies, plans, and executes rapid changes in its solutions, structures, or processes as a response to the constant environmental changes, an addition of incremental improvements, periods of reflection and introspection, rapid feedback incorporation, and focus on changes when needed, end quote, which is vital in this age of rapid information output. Newer knowledge management tools provide, quote, increased agility and reduced risks in the decision-making process and to achieve the business objectives in uncertain environments, end quote. This agility allows organizations to quickly retrieve, quote, relevant knowledge, allowing companies to rapidly apply such knowledge to develop high-quality solutions or react to the emergence of new competitors, end quote. Moving on to knowledge management tools and technologies which support these knowledge management processes and goals, knowledge management tools and technologies are comprised of the various systems and platforms which are used to support the knowledge management processes within an organization. Examples include, quote, intranets, portals, search engines, databases, document and content management systems, groupware, intelligent agents, expert systems, customer relationship management systems, help desk systems, and data warehouse and mining tools, end quote. Additionally, social media tools may support the knowledge management processes within an organization as they are, quote, low cost and also include social networking features generally not available in other tools used in the KM domain. Such social features allow users to collaborate with others to create and share knowledge. For example, wikis enable collaborative authorship and support acquisition, organization, storage, and distribution of knowledge, end quote. One such tool is Microsoft SharePoint. Microsoft SharePoint is a content management software that has applications for knowledge management. SharePoint works, quote, in a similar way to an Excel spreadsheet. Documents can be stored in rows with various metadata for grouping and sorting and allowing for useful search and retrieval, end quote. SharePoint, as the name suggests, can be used to, quote, collect, capture, and share information in a collaborative manner, end quote. SharePoint promotes collaboration, supports knowledge creation, and supports knowledge sharing. Now I'll examine SharePoint through the 6 dimensions of knowledge management, starting with strategy. Overall, SharePoint, quote, is significant in enabling an organization to efficiently share knowledge on projects and businesses as a whole, end quote. It also allows, quote, various companies to improve knowledge management and knowledge sharing, end quote. Its utility can vary widely depending upon training offered within the organization and upon the level of targeted customization. A successful implementation would require a thorough analysis and understanding of the knowledge management needs of the organization. Moving on to organizational culture. Thomas and Underwood, a study that's cited in the references section here, found that many respondents reported that due to a bad experience with SharePoint, typical of which was not being able to find where a button or feature resides, caused them to have a mental block toward the system and a tendency not to use it unless forced to do so. However, Kumalo and Mearns found nearly the opposite, as in their study, quote, users responded that SharePoint improves their collaboration, allowing them to create libraries within the platform. These libraries allow the users to store all business-related knowledge within the platform in order to ensure the effective access to the organization's knowledge, end quote. The organizational culture will in turn impact the utilization of the tool as well, as Thomas and Underwood found that, quote, focus group participants felt that a further spin-off of use is that much of the activity on SharePoint was directed to professional staff and as a result excluded other staff, end quote. In this case, the context provided by the organization's culture had a direct impact on the utilization of SharePoint itself. Moving forward to organizational processes, processes necessary to utilize SharePoint for knowledge management may include partnership with IT to customize the tool. The tool does have a very basic out-of-the-box setup. The studies did find that without customization of this, the tool might be underutilized or may not be as effective as anticipated. The IT may be helpful for installation or in supporting user testing to make sure that all the components are functioning as expected. Moving into the management and leadership perspective here, the usage of SharePoint as a knowledge database does necessitate a level of involvement from knowledge workers. Maintenance of the SharePoint system requires knowledge workers and is recommended by Thomas and Underwood, quote, more staff could be empowered with skills and access to maintain aspects of the site. Organization leadership would need to recognize these needs as vital and allocate knowledge workers accordingly in order to maintain the SharePoint system. So without having sufficient knowledge workers, the maintenance may not be feasible or realistic. So that is something that management leadership would have to take into account as implementing this as a system. And then how does SharePoint support technology goals? When implemented within the organization successfully with appropriate levels of customization and with sufficient knowledge workers to maintain the system, SharePoint can function successfully to support knowledge management processes, which can then support the organizational goals. As, quote, it is important to note that SharePoint has significantly enabled a retailer to effectively share business project reports, thus enhancing productivity and business functions. The tool supports the company by supporting knowledge management processes. The organization benefits through increased productivity, through, quote, enabling its users to cut down on the time wasted on unnecessary tasks, end quote. And additionally, there is, quote, clear indication that SharePoint does play its part in helping employees execute their projects and achieve their business goals and objectives. And then the final dimension here of knowledge management is politics. The way in which the tool is presented within the organization led in the study of Thomas and Underwood to a, quote, perceived exclusivity, end quote, and a decreased usage of the tool. However, in the case study conducted by Kumalo and Mearns, a user stated that, quote, they think the business has now moved into the whole SharePoint idea. A lot of users have taken to it and they're using it more often, end quote. The buy-in from the users will impact significantly the usage within the organization. The appropriate delivery and implementation of SharePoint at the onset is therefore vital to sustain the usage of the tool. Leadership support for the knowledge workers maintaining the tool is also necessary, as without sufficient maintenance, the tool utility breaks down. The return on investment, as found by Kumalo and Mearns, is primarily in time gained, as stated by one study participant who, quote, time management study in their department, and they spend on average 3 hours a day pulling reports for people, so now that time can be used more productively somewhere else, end quote. In this way, SharePoint as a knowledge management tool enables workers to spend their time facilitating the processes they must, while not spending unnecessary amounts of time in knowledge discovery or sharing, and may rapidly move into a knowledge implementation phase. In conclusions, knowledge management tools and technologies can have a profound impact on the facilitation of knowledge management processes within an organization. The implementation of knowledge management systems can increase organizational agility and the time it takes to synthesize new or shared knowledge, giving organizations a competitive edge. The implementation of Microsoft SharePoint was found through multiple studies to have both strengths and opportunities. However, most opportunities were found to be through the efficacy of the implementation, as with a successful implementation, significant value was added to the organization studied. SharePoint was evaluated through the 6 dimensions of knowledge management and was found to be a potentially successful tool for organizations with appropriate management and implementation. Thank you. I'm going to hold here for a moment. All right, thank you. This has been Amelia Wheeler. Thank you very much.